Okay, John, whenever you're ready.
All right. All right, welcome everyone. This is a meeting of the Village of Shorewood Hills Plan Commission. Tonight is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. It is 7:01 p.m. Let's call the meeting to order. Julie, can you do the roll call?
Yes. John Imes,
Present.
Kara Coburn Ferris,
Here.
Mark Lederer,
Here.
Shabnam Lutfi,
Here.
and Craig Weinhold.
Here.
All right, thanks for that. Just want to confirm, Brian and Julie, that the meeting was properly noticed.
Yes,
Compliant
it
with
was.
the meeting law.
Yes, it was.
Okay, thanks so much for that.
Yes, I was.
Item 4, approval of the minutes from our January 13th, 2026 meeting. Hopefully you had a chance to review those minutes. If so, I'd ask for a motion for acceptance. Mark?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Okay, thanks so much. Is there a second? Second to that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay,
If I can make one comment that
yeah.
the meetings from December, the meeting minutes from December still have not been updated with changes requested at the meeting of January. So
Okay.
I have an email to Julie about that, so
Okay,
we can handle it offline.
okay, splendid. So we have a motion by Mark, second by Craig. Further discussion on the minutes?
I
Okay.
had just a clarification on item 7. So that was when we were talking about the ZBA quorum and voting rules.
Mhm.
And I had made a comment about the appointments to the ZBA and how I think that was relevant to that discussion.
Mhm.
And that is noted at the end of the minute for this item, except it says that I was talking about the Plan Commission. I was definitely talking about the ZBA there. So if that item in parentheses can just be changed from Plan Commission to ZBA, that would fix that minor inaccuracy.
Okay, thanks for that, Kara.
Okay.
Julie, you can make that
Only-
change.
I'm sorry, I'm just typing here.
Yep.
So only the item in parentheses, Kara?
Yep, just change it to ZBA, Julie.
I can do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, ready to vote then on the minutes? Mark?
Yeah, I think I just need to amend my motion to approve the amended minutes as opposed to the original minutes.
Yeah,
which
thanks.
I do.
Yeah, thanks for that. And that's friendly for you, Craig?
Yes.
Can I ask a quick question, please?
You bet, Julie.
So Craig, you mentioned something about the December minutes, and I apologize that I have not reviewed your email. Is this
It's okay.
something that needs to be in the minutes, or is this something that was just in the January minutes that we can talk about later? I mean, do I need to have something noted in the minutes about this?
It's in the January minutes, number 4.
Okay,
But
let
the
me-
actual correction to the December minutes has not happened. It's a low
But the-
priority.
but the December minutes, have they been put on? Did you see them on the website? Is that what it was?
Correct. And they're still incorrect, that they have not been updated based on
Okay,
the
all right.
January.
That
number
was,
4.
okay, that was probably, Chrissy probably popped those up before she left and didn't do that.
Yep.
I will make a note in the minutes of that. I'm gonna be fixing that for you. Thank you, Craig.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, ready to vote then? All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Opposed? Abstentions?
I wasn't there, so that's why.
Yeah, thanks, Shabnam. Okay, item 5, public comments. This is an opportunity for community members to speak to the Plan Commission. No discussion or action may take place at this time, and speakers may be limited to 3 minutes. Do we have public comments this evening? Any public comments? I'm not seeing a hand raised or under other indications, so we'll move forward to item 6, public hearing, conditional use permit application, UW Wimmer cyclotron project. at 1111 Highland Avenue. We can open the public hearing. And do we need a motion for that? I'm trying to remember.
Yes, we need a motion to open the
Yeah.
public hearing.
Can I have a motion then to open the public hearing? Mark,
Yes, I'll make that motion.
thanks so much. Is there a second? Thank you, Shabnam. Do we have to vote on that, or I guess we
Yes.
do? All right. All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Okay, the public hearing is opened, and then we'll move to item 6B, presentation by UW staff. Aaron, I see a bunch of folks here from UW. Are you going to be leading this right now?
Sure, you bet, Chair. I don't know, does Mr. Mooney want to say anything, or do you want me just to?
That's it.
Go
Brian,
ahead.
anything else you want to say?
The materials in the packet include the presentation that was given to the Plan Commission at last month's meeting. That has just been included this evening for reference. Not expecting UW to go through that presentation again. This is just mostly an open forum opportunity for any clarifying questions or any questions that were needing to be raised following review of the conditional use application materials that were submitted.
And as far as the UW folks, so yeah, I'm Aaron Williams, campus planning, landscape architecture, assisting on this part of the CUP process. We also have Scott Utter, my director from UW, Mark Wells as the client from School of Medicine Public Health, Matt Efland, UW project manager for the project, and then Potter Lawson, Scott Kammer is on the line. So those are sort of the subject matter experts we have for you tonight. But otherwise, yeah, we're here to, if you have questions, comments. We were approved, the city of Madison, the amendment was approved last week, a couple weeks ago. So we're moving full force with that. Essentially what that did is it brought the project into the CI district and approved it through the campus master plan process. So we will essentially a staff level review with them going forward, but we've been keeping them up to date and you up to date. As you know, this is a unique project spanning the corporate limit line.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, in the packet, of course, was the full proposal, the application for conditional use permit, letter of intent. I noted it was, I think, September when this was first presented as kind of an introductory session. I've been part of multiple joint campus area committees, as well as Carol Barford, that provided informationals, the M&P recommendations, the design recommendations, and then, of course, we're here tonight for the Village of Sherwood Hills Plan Commission. Shabna?
I just had a procedural question. So after it comes to the Plan Commission, this is going to go to the board. So this is a intermediary step. Is that correct?
That's correct. Village board meeting would be, it says February 17th. That's actually election day. It would be February 24th. Just want to make sure the folks at UW know that as well. I saw it was Feb 17 on your list.
One more question.
You bet.
Since this is a public hearing, then any member of the public would be able to ask a question right now as well?
That's correct. And then once the public hearing is closed, then all discussion will move over to the Plan Commission. I know Sonia Creasel's here from Vanderwall. She's done some work on this. Brian has done work on this. So if UW doesn't have anything else they want to share, I'd ask if there are any questions, comments from the public. Any questions, comments of the public? Okay, I'm not seeing any. So I'm going to close the public hearing, and we can move then to.
Actually, John, we need a vote for that, please.
Oh, we need a vote for that. Okay.
Yeah.
All those in favor of closing the
Well,
public?
we need a motion and a second and a vote.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I motion
Fantastic.
we close the public hearing.
Yeah, thank you, Craig. Is there a second to that motion? Thank you, Mark. For discussion, ready to vote? All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Right, that motion passes. We have closed public hearing. We're on item 7, discussion possible action conditional use permit for UW Wimmer Cyclotron Project 1111 on Highland Avenue. I mentioned in your packet is the application for the conditional use permit. There's also the UW Wimmer East Wedge Cyclotron addition conditional use review. And Sonia, I gather you were involved in putting this together?
That's right.
Okay. And so there'll be a point here where I am going to go through each of the conditional use standards and provide questions. But Sonia, why don't you speak to your involvement and work on this so far?
Sure. Thanks, John. As the village planner, we received the conditional use permit application from the UW team and reviewed it for consistency with the conditional use permit standards of the zoning code, as well as the standards within the CF, which is the Community Facilities Zoning District. So the memo in the packet provides an overview of that review. In general, I found that the application is consistent with the CUP standards and the CF Community Facility Zoning District standards. Just again, by brief reminder, the entire parcel that's located within the village of Shorewood Hills has multiple buildings on it, including the Wimmer Center. The East Wedge is proposed to go on the north end of the Wimmer building, and that replaces mostly a paved surface area. The addition itself is mostly internally connected back to the rest of the existing facility. The CF standards that we reviewed, there's some high level touch points of that review in the memo, found to be consistent with setbacks. So setbacks from the side lot line, other standards like lot coverage maximum, which is 50% taken across the entire parcel of record as a whole, the proposed building addition height, all of those characteristics of the development comply with the CF standards. So the recommendation at the end of the staff memo is for approval, and I did not include any specific conditions on that. And one other point is coming to mind. I believe that there were some questions potentially out of the January Plan Commission meeting where this was reviewed in concept regarding noise. If there were any concerns about noise with the operation of the cyclotron facility, village staff did reach out to the UW team and obtained responses to that concern, and the UW team confirmed that the cyclotron facility would comply with all noise standards. It's to be located in the basement, and they didn't have any additional concerns about noise being sort of detectable or any sort of nuisance.
Okay. Questions for Sonia? Brian, anything you wanted to add?
Craig has his hand up.
Oh, sorry. Hey, Craig.
So thank you for addressing noise. That was a concern. Just walking around the area, you hear all sorts of ambient noises coming from different pieces of equipment. None of it is loud, but all of it would drive me crazy if I was living close by. Luckily, there are no houses really close by, and so if this is within the current Shorewood ambient noise limits, I think it's chapter 22 or something. That'll be great. The current wedge that's there has a large public access staircase to the green roof. That appears to be missing from the new cyclotron project. Will there be any public access to the roof area?
Unfortunately, there will not be public access. There won't be public access to this building in general. So that is a unique thing, I guess, that's happening. So everything would have to happen internal. So the green roof is more, I would say, is more for eyes, but also is accessible for faculty, staff, students if needed. But yeah, I'm curious how many public actually went up there. I mean, maybe you've seen people. I've not seen anyone, but maybe.
It looks beautiful. The staircase looks beautiful. I hope it finds a good home. It doesn't just get melted down. I thought it was nice to have that, but yes, I've never been up there. So
Okay, other comments, any questions for Sonia? Mark?
Yeah, I just have one on page 8 in the packet.
Yep.
After going through the conditional use conditions,
Yep.
it has a recommendation, and the recommendation is written such that it's seeking the Plan Commission's approval. And I think following up on Shabnam's question, she thought that the approval actually occurs by the board. So is it expected that the Plan Commission make a recommendation to the board for approval, or is a separate approval required by the Plan Commission?
It's a good
Sonia.
clarification. That should read that the Plan Commission make a recommendation to the board.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, other thoughts, questions? Otherwise, I thought it would be helpful. The section, I'm looking at page 7 on the packet, section 10-1-52C enumerates 9 standards for all conditional uses, all of which must be met to approve an application. In addition, that section permits the Plan Commission to place conditions of approval and requirements as it may deem necessary for the project to fully comply with all applicable standards of the zoning code. So I'd like to go quickly through the 9 conditions, and then after we get through that, and we could, ask questions as we go along here or provide comments. And Sonia, you can definitely chime in as well. I know that you've basically provided answers to each of these. So I won't read everything, but I will read each of the conditional uses and make sure there are no objectives or objections, and that we affirm that the application meets that conditional use. And then see where we are at the end in terms of making a recommendation to the board. So I'll just start off, number 1, that the establishment maintains or operation of the conditional use will not be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare. Shabnam, did you have your hand up?
Sort of, I do. And I feel foolish asking this, but I feel like I've been in Plan Commission meetings before on related subjects where individuals have stated that the conditional use was taken away by the state legislature. And that puzzles me just a little bit. John, you're nodding your head like you know what I'm talking about. Can anybody speak to that?
Yeah. So did you want to speak to how the legislature changed?
Yep.
Right.
In 2017, the state legislature adopted Wisconsin Act 67, and that put in place some additional standards for communities as they review conditional use permits. In the past, prior to 2017, I think communities used the CUP process as a way to kind of review conditional use permit applications with a little bit more discretion. And conditions were added, I guess, rather freely to the applications. With the 2017 change, then the legislature said that any conditions added to a conditional use permit must be based on substantial evidence. And in order to deny a conditional use permit, that must also be based on substantial evidence. Substantial evidence was defined as facts and conclusions that could be supported, demonstrated, and were not findings that were simply based on public testimony. that is sort of paraphrased from the statutory definition of substantial evidence. So the impact of that law is basically that if you have a conditional use allowed in your zoning ordinance as the municipality, that it's a presumption of sort of legislative approval. The community is saying a hospital, if it's a conditional use, is a land use that we're comfortable with. But conditions may still be appropriate if based on substantial evidence to control potential nuisances from that land use.
That was very helpful.
Good.
Good.
Thanks for that, Sonia. Good refresher. We don't have too many of these. We used to have a lot of conditional use approvals in the past, but prior to 2017, but that just isn't the case now. Back to 1 again. Sonia, you mentioned the proposed addition will be physically and functionally an integral part of the existing facilities. All right, so item 2, that the uses, values, and enjoyment of other property in the neighborhood for purposes already permitted shall be in no foreseeable manner substantially impaired or diminished by the establishment, maintenance, or operation of the conditional use, and the proposed use is compatible with the use of adjacent land. Again, Sonia, you speak to that the proposed addition infills in areas between 2 existing building towers mirroring what was previously constructed on the west side of Wimmer Tower 2. All right, we'll move ahead. Item 3, that the establishment of the conditional use will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding property for uses permitted in the district, and shall not be contrary to an adopted comprehensive plan of the village. As Sonia states here, as noted in the findings of the 2 standards above, the proposed addition will have minimal impacts on existing or future development in the area. The adopted comprehensive plan future land use map designates the property as employment, which includes hospitals and other university facilities. Item 4, that adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary site improvements have been or are being or will be provided. Sonia mentions here utilities serving the proposed addition are the same as those serving the existing facilities and include sewage from MMSD and university chilled water systems. So it really doesn't use shorewood infrastructure. That's my sense, because the water's on the Madison system and the chill's all on the UW. Heat and chill water. All right. Item 5, that the establishment, maintenance, or operation of the conditional use is unlikely to increase the level of traffic congestion or reduce the level of safety at any point on the public streets. It is stipulated here, all traffic associated with the proposed addition will use existing vehicular access points and parking. Accordingly, the standard has been met. Item 6, that the conditional use shall conform to all applicable regulations of the district in which it is located. Sonia has here, as summarized previously in this report, the proposed addition meets all applicable CF regulations. Item 7, that the conditional use does not violate floodplain regulations governing the site. Proposed addition and parcel are not located in a floodplain, so this standard is not applicable to this project. Item 8, that when applying the above standards to any new construction of a building or in addition to an existing building, the Plan Commission and Board shall bear in mind the statement of purpose for the zoning district such that the proposed building or addition at its location does not defeat the purposes and objectives of the zoning district. And then you have information here about the section describing the purpose of the CF district, as the CF Community Facility District is intended to provide for those non-commercial and institutional uses necessary to the community, but which are otherwise inappropriate as principal permitted uses in other districts because of their potential incompatibility. The CF district is mapped only for the UW Hospital campus, golf course, and the state facility at the west end of University Avenue. As noted, hospitals and university facilities are permitted within a CU. Accordingly, the standard has been met. Okay, item 9, last item, that in addition to passing upon the conditional use, the Plan Commission shall also evaluate the effect of proposed conditional use upon the maintenance of safe and healthful conditions, the prevention and control of water pollution, including sedimentation, existing topographic and drainage features and vegetative cover on the site. We've got a green roof on here as well, as you know. The location of the site with respect to floodplains and floodways of rivers and streams, the erosion potential of the site based upon degree and direction of slope, soil type, and vegetative cover, the location of the site with respect to existing or future access roads, the need of the proposed use for a shoreline location, its compatibility with uses on adjacent land, and the last item, the amount of liquid waste to be generated and the adequacy of the proposed disposal systems. Sonia notes here items D and G above are not applicable to the project. The information in this report and previously listed findings demonstrate compliance with the remaining items. Accordingly, the standard has been met. So any questions as we went through there? Shabnam?
Yes. So it sounds like Sonia wrote this report. Is that right? Okay. And then did the village hire Sonia to write the report? Does the UW? I just want to know who funded the writing of the report.
Well, UW, we responded to each of those conditions. We submitted all the materials, and my understanding, Sonia sort of took
Yep.
those pieces and then from her lens as the village planner and created the report.
Yep, thanks, Aaron. Vanderwall and Associates has a contract with the Village of Shorewood Hills to provide current planning services, including tasks such as reviewing applications and writing memos and advising the Plan Commission. So that is a contract with Vanderwall and Associates and the village. In terms of the time that it took me to review the application and write the report, I would have to defer to Brian Mooney or John Imes on how costs are billed.
Brian, anything more you want to say about that?
No, other than I was the one that asked for Sonia's assistance and helping to review the CU application materials this evening. She did complete the review on her behalf at my request.
And if I'm sorry to interrupt, just to clarify, I do appreciate it. I mean, I acknowledge that Sonia, this is your bread and butter, that this is what you do, that this is your expertise. So I definitely value it. I was just wondering that there's a cost to this and that the cost should be paid by the UW and not the tiny, tiny village of Shorewood Hills, for costs incurred.
Thanks for sharing that. All right, so at the end of this, we have a recommendation that based on the information provided by the applicant and the findings presented in this report, it is recommended Plan Commission approve the conditional use application as presented.
John, we have one question from Craig.
Oh, sorry, Craig.
Yeah, John. So the plans at ground level look good. You mentioned the cyclotron was going to be in the basement. The plans don't talk much about a basement, and I know, in other areas like the new cube that's being built up towards the top of the hill, that's really involved in going down. How deep does this go down? Is this like Stranger Things sort of territory in the basement, or there's no plan for underground parking? I'm just kind of curious, what is below ground?
Yeah, okay. I mean, maybe Scott Cameron can bring up the plans, but it's essentially bring up the elevation to show that it's a half sunken basement.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. It's about 7 feet roughly below the grade level
That's not
to
much
the
at all.
basement. Yeah.
And there's nothing below that. There's not a sub basement or anything. This is as deep as it goes. No parking underneath.
Okay, it's, I'm just, was curious when you said the equipment was in the basement. I haven't seen
Yeah,
anything about that.
yeah, here's the basement level, the B1 level.
Yeah, so that's like -7 from finish elevation, right? Like street
Yeah.
level. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a view from the outside. So these clear story windows are more than 7 feet above the ground level of the basement or the floor level.
Okay, and it seems like there's a lot of office space being added too, but the document says that no increase in employment is expected.
There's about 10 people are estimated to utilize this space. And I believe the majority of those people are actually already employed there.
They're already employed.
Yeah.
And then there's probably a little clarity that needs to happen on that too. So when this was written, because this was a federal NIH grant, and that's sort of why this has taken forever, because of what happened with all that, is that we were white boxing space above this on floors 2 and 3 when we combined it into an all phase project instead of doing a phase 1 and phase 2. So we're proposing everything will be all phased out. And Mark Wells can maybe speak to what the future phases might be, but there could be more employees now that information is known. So from what the application said, I don't think it's a significant increase in staffing, but maybe Mark Wells has some information.
Hi, thank you, Aaron. I'm Mark Wells, Facilities Director and the grant writer for this. So part to blame. But anyway, the purpose of basically the purpose of this lab with the L1 and the B1, as you just saw, the L1 shell and L2 shell. The purpose is what we call theranostics. And so basically the biggest impact is cancer research. So in terms of the floors that are shell, they're likely to hold quite a bit of radiology and medical physics diagnostic equipment and radiopharmacy equipment. It is true we're building a radiopharmacy adjacent to the one that we already have and as part of this lab. So the cyclotron will be basically distributing the materials to those radio pharmacies, and then they'll be used. In terms of the number of people, it's hard for me to say. I would expect some growth in employees, but I think one of the most unique things about this work is the need for taking this material into the hospital and into human subjects as well as patients. So that's why it really needs to be as close to WIMR and the hospital as it is, right? So that means that while there will be additional staff, it's not meant to be office staff, it's meant to be basically lab staff, which would typically be less. So I don't have a number on the top of my head, but it's not substantial.
That's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
the document says no expected new employment. I just had to reconcile that with that Shorewood seems to support these CUPs for employment. But
yeah,
you're obviously a wonderful employer. So
yeah, the basement, the current cyclotron lab that's right adjacent, they're literally expanding, and like Aaron said, they don't expect to hire many. They're expecting a staff of 10, which includes grad students right now. So I don't think the basement, while it will be great for employment as it distributes itself across the state, the materials across the state, the number of people to operate it are few. And the additional people will be in the labs above. So,
Thanks for that, Mark.
sure.
Other questions? All right, we have a recommendation on page 9 of the packet. This someone want to make a motion regarding the recommendation? Mark.
I'll do that. But first, let me just check with Julie. On the top of page 7 in the packet are the notice preconditions. Have they all been satisfied?
Where are we?
In the packet, top of page 7, just preceding each of these conditional use questions, 1 through whatever it is, 9. There's a provision that says basically notices published, posted 14 and 7 days in advance of the meeting, as well as a mailed notice to all property owners within the village within 300 feet of the parcel.
Yes, that did happen. It was posted both in the paper and notices were sent out, as well as being posted around the village. So we are covered.
Great, thank you. So I'll go ahead and make the motion. It will track what's in the packet, but be a little different for the reasons that I raised earlier, that
Yeah.
we're talking about board approval, not plan commission approval. So the motion is to recommend for approval the conditional use application as presented to the village board.
Thanks for that, Mark. Is there a second to that motion?
Mark, are you okay if I don't just say conditional use, but I put what's in the conditional use for UW Wimmer, like what if I add that to your motion so we can be specific which conditional use?
Yeah, that's fine, because I guess
Okay.
we're doing more than one potentially at this meeting. I guess there's other actions that may be taken.
Yep. UW Wimmer Cyclotron Project, 1111 Highland Avenue.
Exactly. I just want to make sure that was okay with Mark. Thank you.
Yep, that's
So
fine.
to recommend for approval to the village board,
Yeah.
the conditional use for UW Wimmer Cyclotron Project 1111 Highland Avenue as presented.
I need a second to that motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Craig. Further discussion? Shabna.
So this is going to go to the board in February, and Brian and Julie, could I bother you guys to like put a nixle out so it doesn't come it's obviously going to be in the board packet, but just so that residents who may have not had a chance to weigh in could know in advance. We know our constituents very well. And if you could just put it in the nixle that this is going to come up, so anybody has questions, they could have some extra time. I think this is going to go through, and it seems like all the due diligence has been done, but this is just being a little bit extra cautious to make sure somebody who might notice something has a chance to bring it up.
Thanks for that, Shabna. All right, any other discussion? Otherwise, ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye or raise your hand. Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you, Aaron, Scott, Matt, Scott Utter. Good to see you again. Appreciate your good work on this, and look forward to seeing some or all of you at the board meeting on the 24th of February.
Appreciate it, Chair.
All right.
Thank you, committee.
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
You.
All right, let's move on then to item 8, discussion and redevelopment concept plans 3330, 3341, and 3420.
Okay.
University Avenue, Flood Development and Investment Corp. Each of you received a hard copy of the redevelopment concept plans. I know that FLAD reached out to the village about this interest, and wanting to have a conversation about potential redevelopment in the village. Craig, I had some more remarks, but go ahead.
Just real briefly, would it make sense to reverse the order of agenda items 8 and 9 on the agenda?
You
Just
know,
because the TDS thing seems a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit simpler.
yeah, I'm gonna say I think we should leave it the way it is
Okay.
because they definitely relate to each other, and that'll come out as we
Gotcha.
talk about it. And I'll just share a couple comments before we get started, and then I'll turn it over to John Flad, and I think I saw Brian Flad here as well. You know, really the purpose of tonight's discussion, this is an early non-binding conceptual discussion and conversation. There's no approvals, there's no commitments or entitlements that are being considered. The goal is to assess how the concepts align with the University Avenue corridor plan, which I was happy to see Flad included in the redevelopment concept plans, and to provide some initial feedback to inform any future refinement. The goal is to assess how the concepts align with the University Avenue core plan and to provide, oh, I already got that. All right, this is a developer initiated request for plan commission input on property the developer already owns. And tonight is about alignment, it's about questions, it's about direction. It's not about votes or approval. And I'll just provide a little bit more context. The corridor plan was adopted in December 2023, following engagement with more than 200 residents. It provides the policy framework guiding redevelopment discussions along University Avenue and Locust Drive through the year 2040. The plan explicitly calls for mixed-use redevelopment, increased housing supply, reduced surface parking, expanded green space and stormwater improvements, higher density along University Avenue that steps down toward Locust Drive, a stronger tax base to reduce long-term tax burden. And as I said, the key question today will be how well do these concepts reflect the intent and direction of the adopted plan. And with that, I don't want to steal all of Flad's thunder, so I'll fill in if I think you guys missed anything. But John, do you want to kick this off?
Yeah, I'd be happy to, John. I would tell you, you hit some of the high points right from the beginning. This is a developer initiated request this evening. We're not looking for any approvals. We're really here to listen. We're hoping this could be just a good conversation between the Plan Commission and the developer. John referenced the booklet we put together that I'm holding in my hands, that every one of you should have received one of those. The idea was this booklet, the genesis of this booklet was the University Avenue corridor plan. And after reading the University Avenue corridor plan, we were obviously working with Scott Harrington and Ben Rohr from Vandewaal. At that point, they had been engaged by the Plan Commission and the Village Board. And Sonia has picked up the ball and run with it nicely. So Sonia, we're glad you're part of this discussion. The booklet was to try to capture some of our thoughts at Flad Development after we had read the University Avenue corridor plan. And so we tried to codify some of our thoughts in the booklet and also reference various enhancements, various amenities that we thought we could bring to the table on the subject site. And so those are captured in the booklet. Just to hit a couple of the high buttons, clearly density was something that Vandewaal's report was looking for. As I said in my application letter, we're really not able to take these buildings down, which was the initial proposal that was suggested to me by Scott Harrington and Ben Rohr. And I said, gentlemen, we have mortgages, we have leases that we have to honor. I can't take those buildings down. They're encumbered by these folks. But I think we can do some things. We can get you some density. We were showing in the booklet, maybe the biggest item is 42 units of conventional market rate apartments with underground parking, underground surface parking. The building was 5 stories that steps down to a 4th and a 3rd level as provided for in the University Avenue corridor study. We reduced the asphalt surface parking by some 20%. We think that's meaningful. We also worked very hard, and it was Scott Harrington, the seasoned planner at Vanderwall, that referred to what he called the green ribbon working its way through the site. So we went out of our way to talk both with your village engineer, Brian Berquist, out of Town and Country, and we squeezed the asphalt on the north side of the site so we could maintain a 30-foot green corridor along our north boundary. So between Locust and our parking lot and the folks over on Tally Ho, we've got a good green buffer that we were able to continue with there. Also, the whole idea of grading and stormwater, I think, John, you mentioned that, but we've done some, in the booklet, you will see there is some grading changes in the north parking lot. There is also some efforts to make the stormwater more efficient, more effective. We introduced some pervious pavement, which is not cheap, but it helps, it means less stormwater is discharged from the site, and the quality of that stormwater that leaves the site is improved. There was also a rain garden introduced in some of our landscaping on the northwest corner of the office building to continue to keep as much of that stormwater on the site and not send it directly to the lake. Site lighting, as we looked at our existing property here, we said we've got some 10 or 12 lights, roof lights, ground lights that are not dark sky compliant. And I have spent enough time with the village to know that's something that's important and has only become more important over the years. So that's something we could eliminate. Additional landscaping was shown to some degree. You know, the whole idea was for you all to have a chance to digest what's in this book, bring everything all together, including our original zoning and some amendments, put that University Avenue corridor plan in the booklet. So now we have everything in one bound book and we can have a dialogue. So the focus from FLAD's standpoint is we're hoping to listen. We're hoping we have a lot of interest in whatever your comments might be, but it's an opportunity to just kick it off. Right now, I tell you, I'm not sitting down on this end of the table telling anyone that we're ready to start building apartments tomorrow. You all live in the city just like I do. Awful lot of buildings going up. And the viability in terms of costs, interest rates right now, we're not interested in running out and starting another apartment building tomorrow. But it was an effort on a kind of a capacity study, if you would, a capacity drawing on what we could do with this site if we can't take down these 2 buildings. So I think there's some amenities and some enhancements that are not cheap, but are meaningful and beneficial to everyone. So I think that really concludes my comments, and I think the TDS discussion happening next will dovetail nicely. But John, we'd love to hear from your folks. I'm not hearing anything.
I think everyone's had the hard copy packet of, I don't know, 10 days or so. Hopefully you've had a chance to kind of go through there. I have some question prompts, but what are some initial reactions, thoughts by commissioners? Mark.
First, I want to thank you, John, for bringing this to the village. It's welcome. It's time. May even be a little overdue, but we're glad to see it and enter into the conversation. So one thing I want to start out talking about is the other buildings as opposed to the building that you're proposing or considering. And that is the Century Building, the TDS building. And I would loop into that even Village Hall, which you made a few references to in the document. So if you could just talk about the future of those buildings before we get into the apartment structure.
Well, Mark, certainly, it's good to see you again, Mark. It's been a while since I was at the last Plan Commission with you. Nice to see you're still there throwing punches. I would tell you what you know. My recollection, Mark, is you've got a background in money and investments and things of that nature. And so I'm sitting here with mortgages of some degree. We've probably got 7 or 8, maybe 9 tenants in the TDS building that we're in right now. The costs that we've encountered in the last 24 months have been on a slope that looks like this. The rents have not kept up very well with some of these costs. So the economic viability of going out, buying land right now and starting a retail building, the most recent one we did is out on Mineral Point Road called Cambridge Court West. And the actual costs came in here. The value ended up being about here. We'd usually want those things reversed. You'd want to have your costs here and you'd want to have value appreciably higher. So right now, the paradigm in the development business, it's not a great time to be in the development business. A lot of the big projects you see that are the 100, 150, 200 units, a lot of stuff downtown. A lot of the development is sponsored by national companies, not locals. FLAD doesn't do, this FLAD doesn't do 200 or 300 units. We have been very surgical, Mark, and the rest of the commission members, focusing on University Avenue and the Hilldale neighborhood. So you could look at me and say, well, John, it looks like you've been busy over in the Hilldale area. And that's true. But we are more of a boutique developer. The size of our projects tend to range from 40 units to 75. We don't have the financial wherewithal. If we were doing 200 units and the market went to hell, how are we going to carry 50 or 60 of those units that didn't get leased up? So we tend to focus in a 40 to 75 unit range. We think we could carry 20 or 30 units if we had to, if things didn't lease up. And so we're very guarded in the amount of money that we already have in these two projects. I like to think, and maybe Mark, it's pride of authorship, maybe it's pride of ownership, but the building I'm sitting in right now, the 3330 office building, I think has somewhat of a timeless look to it. That was done in 1995. So, I think you're looking at about 30 years there. We have refinanced it from time to time. Back in the day, we put in a fair amount of money because originally the building that is Century House right now, you might recall, we built that as a 15,500 square foot building for the third Borders Books in the country. Borders Books said, John, we've got to be bigger after a few years. We ended up accommodating them down the street only to have Borders Books go bankrupt. Century House has been a good local tenant that we all know and love. They don't pay a tremendous amount of rent, but they're local and they do a really good job and they help us with the parking. I probably couldn't look honestly and tell you we've reduced within the booklet, we reduced our surface parking by 20% if we didn't have the furniture store. They're not a big demander, they don't demand a great deal of parking. We want to be a little careful here and watch Golden Nest because Panera was going downhill. I would tell you it's a management problem with Panera. Out of 6 Paneras in town, we were number 6 on University Avenue. I find that hard to believe, but that's the case. So Golden Nest, who we've checked out fairly deeply, we think in the next couple of weeks when they open, you guys look at the parking lot with me. And we got to take a look at that parking lot and see how busy that is. I would also tell you that the end of 27, December 31st of 27, TDS will vacate the first floor of the office building. The first floor of the office building is full of an awful lot of technology, an awful lot of telecommunications facilities, and so it's not highly parked. So we've got to be careful that in a practical, real world, working with lenders, that we have an appropriate amount of parking here. And I've watched plan commissions over the last many years change from a maximum number of parking spots to a minimum number of parking spots and vice versa. So there's not a whole lot today that Flat is prepared to do with these 2 office buildings because of the cost value dynamics, the cost value paradigm. Does that get at the question, Mark?
Yeah, I think it does. It sounds to me like the bottom line is for the foreseeable future, we can anticipate that those 2 buildings, the Century Building and the TDS building, will be more or less as they are today. Never say never, but that's kind of where we are.
Fair comment.
Okay. And then the Village Hall, as you know, we are looking to make improvements in Village Hall. And I noticed in the letter you talked a little bit about, sounds like extra space in the TDS building. Has that space been spoken for? What's sort of the future of the tenants of that building?
Well, it's a tad premature, but I would tell you, we are talking with both different retailers right now, because Hilldale and University Avenue is still Hilldale and University Avenue. The office market, as you all know, last thing I saw was the far west side is worse because it's got about 17 or 18% vacancy. That's mostly out Old Sauk Trails Park on the other side of the Beltline. I think the vacancy around the Madison proper and our downtown has performed fairly well, but you're still looking, I think, at 12 or 13 or 14% vacancy. So of all the real estate sectors, there's no question office is the laggard in all of it. Over the last 3 or 4 years, it's really been industrial and multifamily that have been the 2 sectors that have done well. And I would tell you, I think our friends at Golden Nest, probably about 10 years on their lease. They will open in the next 2 weeks. Century House. Interesting thing about Century House is they could be part of where they are now. They could also come over here to the office building and take the first floor where TDS is. Because the nature of parking with the furniture is they don't cause a problem. Most other retailers, we'd never entertain putting other retailers in the first floor of the 3330 office building. But in the world today of mixed use, not out of the question that maybe we move as a possibility, move Century House over. I think we can backfill, Mark, Century House's space with 3 or 4 or 5 other retailers that are in that 7,500 to 10,000 square feet. Century House about 10,000 square feet. I think we got a better chance to backfill that space with some quality retailers and maybe bring Century House over here. Now, I've had a discussion or 2 with Jacob Harlow, the #1 guy at Century House. So I don't want to say we're firmly planted in midair, but we're trying to keep our options open right now because, as you said earlier, there's a couple of years ahead of us on this stuff.
Appreciate that, John.
Yeah.
John Imes, let me turn it back to you then. Let some other commission members get some questions in.
Yeah, good questions, Mark. Other reactions, questions, comments for the development team? Craig,
So the University Avenue corridor plan calls for a 3-story height limit on Locust Drive, and what it may not show up in that corridor plan is all the public comments, but they are up on our website still. And it was one comment we had there was a lot of concern about the corridor plan having even 8 stories towards University Avenue. But everybody insisted, I think 75% said that they wanted lower floor heights towards Locust. And I did some shade diagrams, and I saw that the current proposed building, that there are about a half dozen houses that are going to have an extra hour of nighttime each day and so forth, which is unavoidable. And obviously space is where it is. But I think that's one hill that people in Shorewood are going to be fairly stubborn about is the height transition towards the inside of the village. The other thing that they were fairly insistent upon is equity, townhomes, condos, as opposed to apartments. I saw that Matt Brink is a local developer, and he has one of these very large proposals for the Brayton lot in Madison, and he's calling for over 280 condos that are not luxury condos. These are kind of regular condos, and that is going to be more condos than Madison has added total since 2008. It's almost like he knows something that other developers don't know. I'm kind of interested in your concepts. Is he smoking something, or are things turning? Are condos and townhomes a possibility?
Mark, was it Kurt Brink that you were referring to?
Maybe it's Kurt.
yeah.
I think it's Kurt, yeah. And I've known Kurt for a long time, but I'm not going to go on the record as saying, he may have been smoking something. But let me go back to the beginning, Mark. Craig, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Let me go back to the first comments you were sharing related to
the height, the height and towards.
yeah, I'm not unaware of that. We struggled with that a little bit because trying to be sensitive to the folks, particularly over on Tally Ho and the closest ones, it was a trade-off between, it appears the village wants density. I mean, when I heard 6 to 8 stories out on University Avenue, I couldn't believe my ears, because I've been doing this a long time, Craig, and I was surprised to hear that. So then when I went to the backside or the north side of the site, I said, well, maybe if we take advantage of what they showed in the University Avenue corridor study, where you step back at the 4th floor, you step back at the 5th floor. That's a 45-degree angle. It's something that's codified in the City of Madison's planning stuff. And I said, well, if we step back, we get some density to the village. The more density, the better we do with the tax base and help raise some revenue for the village. So if you all came back, Craig had said, hey, John, you better go back and read some of the stuff that I haven't seen in terms of the number of people and the attitudes they have. And I know there were some shadow studies back in the day and all of that stuff. Maybe this needs to be 4 stories with a setback from the 3rd to the 4th, and you get rid of the 5th floor. I'm not here to tell you all anything is cast in concrete. I'm here to tell you that we're here to listen. Number one. And Craig, if I could ask you a quick question, Mariana related to you?
Oh yeah.
Is that your mom?
That's my mom. Yeah, she passed away a couple of years ago, but
yeah, she's a wonderful lady. Did she not work with the Country Kitchen folks and Jeff Raymond's company at one time?
I was just over at the Raymond Group's open house last week, looking at how CJ is running the company now.
Yes.
Yeah, she was the financial lead over there.
Yeah, well, you had a wonderful mom, but you already knew that. But when I saw your last name, I couldn't help but say, Might there, I could have said it's your older sister, but she'd appreciate that, maybe, I don't know. So the other question, the condominium discussions, we've had those discussions, golly, over the last 3 to 6 months, Craig, and there's just no question in most people's minds that there is a demand for condominiums. Why haven't we seen any over the last 20 years? And I was somewhat surprised talking with architects and talking with engineers around the city. And they said, John, if you came to us and asked for condominiums, we would tell you we're not interested. And I said, well, what's that about? And they said, it's about liability. It's about living in a world that continues to be rather litigious. And they said, Flad, we know you guys, and we think we could work with you. But once you sell those condos, now all of a sudden there's 40 or 50 individual unit owners, and oftentimes the association. And there has been, it's a cottage industry in Milwaukee where certain law firms do nothing but represent condominiums suing developers. And, I could have come up with some different ideas, but that wasn't one of them. But the liability issue, I was on a phone call with a construction attorney at Foley & Lerner in Milwaukee with a Foley real estate attorney in town having this discussion that went on for an hour. And when they were done, I said, I think you've just scared the hell out of me. And we did some condominiums, Craig, right across from the old Attic Angels, called the Coventry. It's 22 units, 4 stories, right on Seagull Road. And we were a little early with that project. We got 14 of the 22 sold, and I sat there with the 6 or 8 that I had to pay homeowners association on and the real estate taxes, and it wasn't terribly enjoyable. But right now, we're exploring. I was in a meeting 2 weeks ago, Craig, with the people over at First Weber. There were 4 people in the room from First Weber. And they were doing the handicapping on what could you sell a unit for today. Is it $435 a square foot, or is it $450 a square foot? And we were kind of in a conversation of saying, how does anyone really know what the comparables are? Because nobody's done any of these. I don't have the same risk appetite that Kurt Brink has. He's a little more debt fearless than John Flad is. Maybe it's my age, Craig, sneaking up on me. But the reality is we're exploring the whole question about condominiums. And I've been running some numbers, and you get done selling them, then you've got to pay your capital gains tax on each unit. You got to pay a commission to our friends at First Weber every time they sell one. So once you figure out that if you were selling them in the 435, 450 range, it might generate more money than an apartment project if you sold the apartment project. So from just a financial standpoint, as I was sharing with Mark, we were kind of digging to figure out how do you make money in real estate today. It's just cyclical. And right now, the cyclical nature is not all that encouraging. But I can't explain to you, and I wouldn't go build 200 units. Kurt Brink's only a couple of years younger than me, but I wouldn't go build 200 condominium units. I'd probably want to crawl before you walk before you run, and get my feet wet, which is a little bit what we're doing. And but the reality of who we are right now, and this kind of summarizes, I think, what Brian Mooney and John Imes know. The stuff we've been doing, and Mark Letter would certainly appreciate this. You go over into the Hilldale area. To do those projects, we had to buy, we're buying prime land there. In fact, we were buying Class B or Class C office buildings. So, and then we're only putting up 40 or 50 units. So our land cost per unit was higher. Our building costs per unit, because we're doing more boutique, not 100 units and 125. So I can't get any economies of scale. But we hold ourselves to a certain level. Maybe it's pride talking, But we want to make sure, I mean, those projects, that's real stone. That's not fake stone on any of those. So, you know, the land costs per unit and the building costs per unit are high. And so we don't think we're really getting the value out of those apartments, which is why maybe converting one of those buildings or two of those buildings to condos, because they were built 5 years ago or 7 years ago. I would tell you in closing, maybe the best story we have is right up the street, where we did 100 units on the Walnut Grove, which happened to be a project we did in 1980. We bought it back because the rascals that had it were the kind of partners the Village of Shorewood Hills was not interested in. You only heard from them when they wanted to appeal their taxes. But so that was so successful. We had that project 100% leased before we finished building it, which made us start thinking, well, maybe the Pioneer Square building would be in play. The village was good enough to say, the Pioneer Square building, John, is about 95% empty. John Lee, who owned it, is a real gentleman, still with us, real gentleman. He came to me and he said, John, if you want to do something here next to the project that I really liked, what you did with the lodge at Walnut Grove, I'll be happy to work with you. And I said, John, I can't take that building down. It's going to be $1 million to demolish that building. And the village stepped up and said, we can help with TIF money at a time when the Borders building was empty. Walnut Grove Shopping Center, pretty much empty. Pioneer Square building, pretty much empty. So there was a pretty good renaissance that took place along the corridor back then. And so that's kind of where we are now. But I wouldn't say never to condos, and I wouldn't never say never to 4 stories, not 5. And I'm not trying to negotiate, Craig. I'm just kind of pulling that out of the hat. Okay.
No, appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I think if there's some talk of ownership, there's a lot of people in Shorewood who would love to move to was it Tamarack or what's the Shackleton Square condominiums? You know,
Yes.
if every single time a unit comes up for sale there, it's sold immediately. There's so many people who want to stay in the village, but don't want to move to an apartment. They want to move to something that they own.
Craig, I get it.
That was some of the feedback, some of the strong feedback we had during that corridor plan is that home ownership along Locust Drive seemed to be very, very attractive for a lot of people.
Yeah, well, Craig, I would tell you timing has got a lot to do with all of this, as you know. And I would tell you, we were doing the 22 units called the Coventry on Seagull Road at the same time Dr. Steenan was doing Shackleton Square. I told you we got to about 14 units sold, and then it got tough. Dr. Steenan went bankrupt. He had to file bankruptcy on Shackleton Square. He was obviously a genius of a man, radiologist by trade. Probably shouldn't have been I probably wouldn't have been any more successful if I tried to become a radiologist at that point in my life. But so today at the Coventry, today at Shackleton, those things sell, within a week. You're absolutely right.
The same with Sequoia Commons was another one. I mean, that opened in
Yes.
2008, just as the housing bubble crashed. It didn't sell out until 2014. They took a bath. The developer, I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's what people are all rooting for, is the developer to take a bath and everyone else gets a low cost, house, I guess. But that's not in your interest.
I'm delighted to be able to sit here and try to field your questions, Craig. Joe Krupp did the Sequoia project, quality guy, quality developer, and he had the wherewithal to make it through.
Good. Yeah, and now it's the most prized spot on the near west side. It's fantastic.
I agree.
I think Kara wants to say something.
Hey, Kara.
Thanks, and I want to be respectful of everyone's time, so I'm not gonna talk for long. So there is a strong presumption in this, in what's being floated here today of what can't be done, and there's been a lot of discussion about what can't be done, and I just want to point out a couple things about University Avenue. One is we have bus rapid transit that went in recently, and it is being utilized quite heavily. And in my mind, it has changed the entire look of this area in terms of the amount of pedestrian traffic you see and the extent to which people are traveling, by foot around this area. And I'll also say that the Madison Yards office building, more and more of the state of Wisconsin employees are relocating to that building. It's reaching, the point where it's going to be very densely used. All of the DNR is moving over there. There's significant change happening in terms of people working in this area and traveling in this area. And then I just wanted to make one observation about the plan versus the corridor plan that was discussed in December 2023, which provided kind of policy guidance for where we want to go and incorporated a lot of public feedback, as was discussed earlier. So I guess I'm really disappointed by the amount of surface parking and asphalt that remains in the FLAD plan that we're looking at today. And that is, I have been listening to, all of your concerns, and I don't dismiss any of those financial constraints. I absolutely think that timing is so critical, as you pointed out, when you're talking about business. And I would not want us to make a hasty decision that we were locked into based on things where they sit at the moment. So I don't want to
think,
oh, go ahead.
no, I appreciate your comments. Thank you for those. I was going to say something earlier that I didn't say, and it's sometimes it's not as simple as what we would like to do or think is appropriate. I would invite you, as I said to Mark, let's take a look. When the new restaurant opens, let's take a look. Excuse me. When TDS is out of the first floor in this office building and vacates 10,000 square feet, because right now it's almost full of nothing but telecommunications equipment and technology down there. But real estate tends to be a very debt-oriented business, which means we've got mortgages. Lenders are particularly sensitive to some of the things we're talking about, because in most projects, if it's a 60 or 70% loan to value situation, that means the lender has more money in the deal than the developer. And so I have seen deals that got shot down because the lender said, we're concerned that you don't have enough parking. So the lender is just another participant at the table. So when we get into this discussions, we got to make sure we're dealing with real world stuff too. And I'm on University Avenue every day. I still come in the office Saturdays and Sundays. So I'm getting more dull and more dull. But I've seen bus rapid transit in action. I do think there's transitions going on. I don't take exception with what you said. And the other effort in the booklet was to close off 2 access points out to Locust and try to focus on Locust being we sit between Locust and University Avenue. Let the traffic and bus rapid transit take place on University Avenue. Let's continue to try to make Locust more pedestrian, more bicycle friendly, and try to keep the cars to a minimum on Locust. And so there we closed off the end where Joyce Ardman Park, and then we combined two access points onto Locust with the villages, brought them together. So let's keep talking. Thank you.
Yeah, I do appreciate that change. And I think that implements, some of the spirit of what the public expressed a desire for. And I think that's a nice improvement.
Okay.
Thanks for that, Kara. Any other reactions, questions, comments? John, I'm glad you mentioned about the green space. I think I think that's a pretty unique element that you've incorporated. I'll just mention, you also talked in the report about some of the infrastructure ready elements such as EV charging, bike facilities, and solar ready roofs. We haven't talked about unit mix. If it was apartments, I think it's, what do we say in studios? 1 and 2 bedrooms. I know as a commission, we've talked about 3-bedroom units in order to attract families, that are just starting out in the village. Did you want to comment on that at all?
Well, John, here we go again. It's the timing situation. Our friends at Kenothi and Bruce, architects out of Middleton, probably have drawn more apartments than any architects over the last 10 years. And they had a propensity to provide almost 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 1 bedrooms to 2 bedrooms. And we have found the last couple of times going through the leasing cycle, we have found that we've got 1 bedroom sitting around. Now we've gotten them leased. And as I sit here right now, John, as you and Brian Mooney know, we're 100% leased with our apartments. Some people smarter than me might say you're leasing them too cheaply, John, but the bottom line is, I think what we would see back here, I would guess it would happen like this. I don't want to have many studios in the back on Shorewood Hills property. I would tell you what was in the drawings was about 8 studios, and in my mind, I wouldn't want to have more than 4 or 5 studios, because I think if we're going to respond to the village, it's going to be more 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. And I had told you candidly, Carl Bronson's widow, Mary, was in to see me months back. She said, John, we've got a beautiful house. I think she sold it now. And she said, have you got a 3-bedroom, or have you thought about some 3 bedrooms? And the biggest problem sometimes out there is if we came on the market, we had this discussion maybe when we did the boulevard right outside the door here, which is in the village of Shorewood Hills. And I have been advised by people smarter than me in this business. They say, John, you come in with some 3 bedrooms and you think you're going to get families from the village of Shorewood Hills moving in. They said, you're probably not. You're probably going to get 3 PhD students or 3 med students that have done the math. And they say, let's get a 3-bedroom. We'll each pay for a third, and it'll be a good buy. It'll be the best buy we could do. And I said, well, how do we legislate that this project is in Shorewood Hills? And we'd like to be responsive to our friends in Shorewood Hills. They said, well, John, you can't do that. I mean, I think Sonia could probably speak to that, and it's a form of discrimination, and all we're trying to do is do something good and right that the village would appreciate, but we can't legislate that unless we, the village of Shorewood got first look while we were still drawing it. We hadn't gone to the market, and we said, well, we should do it. But so, John, it's not out of the question. I would not want to probably have more than 3 bedrooms, because we get very, very little demand for it. Now, the village of Shorewood could be an anomaly if people step up. So I would tell you, I'm just doing this on the fly, but let's say there were 4 studios. Let's say there were 3 bedrooms. I would probably either split the 1s and the 2s 50-50, or I might have a few more 2s than I would 1s, just because of how I think I know the village of Shorewood Hills. So I'd be changing the mix here. He's got 19 right now. When Kenothi and Bruce did this, 19 1s, 15 2s. I think we could switch that around a little bit, but I think the whole question of mix is a good discussion that we can have.
Thanks for that, John. Shabnam, you have your hand up.
Yeah. First, thanks, John and John Flad. It's very nice to meet you. I appreciate all your comments tonight, and mostly that they're very candid, just open. And I understand the concern with condos being liability. I hope that that is not a deal breaker, and it's something that we could still explore. My other understanding, and because the other thing is that, you have an interest, but I have an interest, and my interest is serving my constituents. And sometimes these interests might not always perfectly align, and we're trying to look for a sweet spot. But my other understanding of condos right now is that before you could even build it, the developer cannot have more than a 20% ownership. So it's got to have 80%, it's got to be 80% sold before it can even be built in order to get the financing for the building. And then there's problems there because how can somebody get a mortgage for a building that hasn't been built? They're not going to get, there's other intricacies there with the financing. Am I correct on this?
No, you're absolutely right. But I think there's a way, the way we would approach it, the way I would approach it, I would get one or two of the local community banks right here in town. And I would say, we're talking about great location. We understand that no one's going to move ahead. I'm not going to move ahead, and the bank who's going to have more money in it than me is not going to move ahead until we have 75, 80% commitments, just what you said. And the idea would be to, some smart attorney could lay out something that talks about a contingent purchase agreement that is contingent on getting contracts for this many. And if you don't have those contracts for that many by 18 months, you tear up the paper. Something like that, I think, could happen. And there's a bit of me, I hate thinking we would yield to this litigious culture that apparently is out there. I shouldn't be that naive. But I think the number of times people have said, "Hey, John, at the corner of Regent and Seago, are those going to be apartments or are those condos?" And I say, they're going to be apartments because the marketplace has embraced apartments. You can sell an apartment building at a low capitalization rate, so it gets a little higher value. And they go, shucks, we were hoping they were going to be condos, because if they were condos, we're ready to sell our house, move the money into the condo and do it. I think there's depth and breadth out there.
So is it possible that the idea could be explored by putting a feeler out there to see who would be interested? And then you guys could figure out, look, everybody stepping up wants a 3-bedroom, so that it could be the demand and the drawings could kind of meet. So we're not just deciding based on nothing what people really want. Is that possible?
I would tell you this, and I'm not trying to be funny when I say it, but designing by committee is challenging. And the old line used to be, a camel is a horse designed by a committee. And that scares me a little bit. But I think, we asked for this meeting, and the idea is, let's hear what people have to say. And I think we could take that idea and sit in a round table with residents from the village. But the answer is, folks, listen, you can't tell me that you're ready to sign the paper and then you're going to back out of it. You gotta be on board here, because I don't want to go down this road that I find is not a real road. Because I know right now,
Yeah.
I got the apartment game in my hands. The condo game is a little like squeezing Jello, and it's coming out between my fingers. So we gotta work through it.
Well, and there obviously at some point there is a little bit of a gamble, where there you can't predict the future. What I know right now with certainty is that as somebody who has a 6-year-old at Sherwood Hills Elementary School with other young families that I know, there's a need that they are looking for 3-bedroom condos or townhouses, 3-bedroom ownership.
Yes.
People want to send their kids to this elementary school. So and every house that is on the market in Sherwood Hills goes so fast. There's some assurance there that this is a desirable neighborhood to live in. It is a great location. It has a phenomenal elementary school, and maybe, so
Yep.
but nobody knows the markets, and there's a little bit of risk that's always going to be there.
Well, there's no question. Risk is a big word in real estate. And so I hear you, and one step at a time.
Just want to say one more comment is I think that this is a great first step discussion, and I would really love it if more of the community was aware of what's going on and have an opportunity to have input. People don't always know there's a plan commission meeting. People don't always know what's happening. Everybody's busy, but if we are going to be exploring development at the University Avenue Corridor, I would really love more residents to have a chance to come and provide input.
Thanks, Shabnam. Craig, I see your hand up.
Yeah, the University Avenue corridor plan sort of sketched out with the current buildings in mind, and how would the infill be done, across all the lots, and that's something I would like to see. I mean, this one plan for this one building on Locust is interesting, but there's just as much space on the south side. And to Kara's point, surface parking is absolutely the worst use of space these days when we have a BRT station right there, and when the university is, a 2-mile bike ride away from this location. I'm kind of curious, if there could be sort of a master plan for development of all the surface lots, and what order would you do that in? You've led with doing it on the back, but doing it in the front might be more profitable. It's higher, certainly. We've already greenlit taller buildings, and Madison right across the street is building, I think, 6 stories. So it seems like doing the other side of the Century House building, might also be a good option. So anyway, it'd be nice to see kind of a plan for how development would be staged, thinking of those existing buildings, eventually going away. How would they be replaced? How would the buildings be fit in today around them, and so forth? Because that's what we sort of did with the corridor plan. Be nice to see your take on it.
Okay, appreciate your comments, Greg.
You also mentioned TID for, I think, for the lodge buildings. I know I'm sure it's premature, but is that something that you'd be looking for this development as well?
Well, tax incremental district TID, I haven't mentioned that to anyone because it wasn't in any of our plans.
Okay.
When we did the lodge, it was a municipal TIF, and then it became a developer finance TIF with PIR. And we were able to, working with Dave Benferrano and Mark Sundquist, who were kind of at the helm when that project happened. I haven't thought about it because the 2 buildings that are here that have my attention right now, I haven't gone, not asking the village for anything right now. Wasn't going to ask the village for anything.
Okay.
Your mother would approve.
I approve. I've been thinking this land is a gold mine for the village. It really is. I mean, it's your gold mine. It's everybody's gold mine, and we all want to make the most of it, and capture all the exuberance that's happening in the Madison area along this corridor.
Well, Craig, you would remember, as we touched on earlier, when the Pioneer Square building was empty, The Walnut Grove had retail on the first floor and office above, and that was about 70–80% empty. And then our friends at Borders, who were doing very well here at this location. But when Borders nationally went bankrupt, guess what? I got a phone call from some attorney out in New Jersey saying we're going to shut it down and you won't be getting any more rent payments, John. I'm looking at the corridor and I know how the Village of Shorewood Hills covets this commercial corridor, because if we can keep this corridor healthy, financially strong, it takes some of the tax pressure off the people in the bluffs up above in the hills. And so this corridor is very important. And I would tell you, once upon a time, Carl Gobranson, who very smart guy, you probably knew him, Craig, sent me a letter saying, John, I just wanted to express our appreciation on behalf of the Village of Shorewood Hills for what you guys have done along the University Avenue corridor and recycle these properties from a brickyard where University Station is, or the Cuba Club restaurant where I'm sitting right now. The old Blackhawk Cottages is what used to be there before the Walnut Grove Lodge and that stuff ever happened. There used to be a Coca-Cola bottling plant.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of transitions. Timing.
Brian Mooney, I saw your hand up, and then we'll go to Mark.
Thanks, John. I will be quick, and I want to be respectful of others' time here tonight too. Shabnan had a great point, speaking about the mix of the housing and the different options that might be available within the apartments or condos, whichever direction this goes. Kara mentioned that the Metro Transit system is well suited for use by the village going forward. I know in the past that the village has worked with some developers to kind of work to get a diversity of different types of housing options within the village. It's part of our comp plan, part of our strategic plan to expand a diversity of housing at different price points. Would it be something you would consider working with the village on, perhaps including or dedicating a part of any such development for more affordable housing?
Well, that's a fair question. Brian, you guys did something special up at the village got sideways with HUD years ago. And HUD mandated that you all do some workforce housing, some low moderate income housing, whatever the terms were. And they said, John, we, the village, have an obligation to Housing and Urban Development, federal government, to provide some moderate workforce housing. I said, I can do some math and share it with you on here's all we can charge rent-wise for those units. And so we will lose this much money on each one of those units. And someone at the village, maybe it could have been Carl Gobranson or someone else like that on the board, said, John, how about this? We've got to deliver 8 units. We want 8 units out of your project. And this was Pyar Squared, the Pyar Lodge is what we called it, but it was phase 2, 94 units. And the village says, we will give you TIF money so you can give us 8 units that cost as much as the others. They were built just like the others. It wasn't like this was Corian countertop and over here was granite. No, they were all the same. And so the village subsidized those 8 units. Mark Letter might remember this, but the village subsidized, and maybe John Himes, they subsidized 8 units so we could deliver. And so we coordinate that with WIDA.
Yeah.
And once a year, Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority has to come through, and we walk them through, and they do inspection, and they have to bless the numbers, because these these people are generally paying 85 or 100 or 125 bucks for an apartment. And guess what? Those numbers don't work. So there's a way to get there, Brian, if there's enough of a commitment from all parties.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
Thanks for that. Mark?
Yeah, John, I want to return to the question of Village Hall and the future of Village Hall. As you probably know, the village is getting close to making an incremental investment into the facility to improve the conditions for the police as well as for the administrative staff. But I'm interested in your opinion about the sort of more medium-term, long-term prospects for that site, and particular redevelopment on that site. Should the village want to stay in that location, but would like to perhaps see that property redeveloped? What do you see as the prospects for that?
You know, over the years, where my office is, I look at your building every day. So I got to pull the blinds or something, Mark. But I would tell you there was a plan, there was a thought, and if I could dig through my files, I have more plans for things that never got built. But there is a plan whereby the first floor was condominiumized for the village. And you could do a condominiumized deal, first floor, maybe lower level because of what you need for parking and police vehicles. If you're going to go up with apartments, you could have apartments above. If we condominiumize the first and second floor, you don't pay any taxes because you guys don't want to pay taxes and you shouldn't. And so then the question is, how far down do I have to go? Because what we've typically done, Mark, is just gone down that first level and not get caught in corkscrewing down lower and lower with inefficiencies because of the drives that go down to that lower level of parking, and you're spending a lot of money on concrete. But if we found middle ground, you could do condominiumized space for you all on the first floor, maybe a basement level or a first and a second floor. You'd want to more intensely develop the upper floors, so maybe floors 2 through 5, and then you know there might be some people in the village, based on what I heard tonight, say, wait a minute, did you say we're going up 6 floors on the corner of Locust and Shorewood Boulevard? That's the entrance to the village of Shorewood Hills. I would want one of you by my side if I was going to have to make that announcement. But the idea of trying to do a mixed use with the village taking advantage of some of it on the first floor or one level of underground parking, whatever. I think there's a way to do that. And when you really start looking in on a broader spectrum, I must tell you, in the last 7 days, I was driving by and got off on University Avenue, right where you all kind of have the public works facility and a bunch of mulch and concrete and some other things there. And I go, man, I know the railroad tracks right there, but you're overlooking Blackhawk Golf Course. Is there a way to have you all still do your thing, a la what Mark and I were just talking about up there, and say, golly, how about floors 3 through 8 are apartments or condos, and those lower level floors, I mean, I don't think anybody's too excited about being next to, the mulch pit or whatever, but some other use that the village would have. An interesting piece of property, and the question is, how much does the train impact quality of life?
Thank you.
Thanks for that. So we've got a couple things yet on the agenda. John, I really appreciate your willingness to engage with us on this, and the commission's focus on some of the policy alignment, design quality, community impact. I know we're gonna, the staff's gonna compile all this feedback. I'm sure we're gonna take a step back. I just want to remind the public, if they watch this after the fact, that we do have the full packet that John made available to the Plan Commission members. We've got one at one or more, I think, at Village Hall. We've had some residents come in and sit in the conference room and kind of go through it and take their notes. So I want to extend that opportunity as well. But with that, if there's not objection, why don't we just close this item and then move on to the next item that's related to Flatten, and that's the discussion possible action, consider amendment to the approved SIP for the 3330 University Avenue, the TDS equipment screening and site modification. And Sonia, we've kept you out for a while. Do you want to brief the commission real quick, or Brian, how would you like to handle this?
I can kick it off. That's no problem.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
So the applicant, John Flad, has submitted a request to amend the adopted specific development plan SDP that's on record for this property. That is a special overlay district that was approved on top of the base C1 Village Commercial District at this property. The memo that I provided outlines the procedural steps to consider an amendment to an SDP. That's in 10-1-33. It states that any proposed modifications shall be submitted to the zoning administrator, and then that shall be forwarded to the Plan Commission for consideration. Minor modifications to the SDP shall be reviewed and approved by the Plan Commission. I believe the next piece of that ordinance, which I did not copy into the introduction of the memo, states that if it's not deemed a minor modification, that Plan Commission would make a recommendation followed by Village Board taking final action. Staff review, my opinion is that this is a minor modification. It's a minor adjustment to the screening wall around the existing TDS equipment that's exterior to the building. It's in the back on the north side. In the memo, there are some screenshots of the plans provided by Mr. Flad showing the existing before conditions and then the proposed after. And a review of accessory structure review standards. And then finally, a planner recommendation. The Plan Commission, as I mentioned, may take final action on this without it proceeding to the Village Board if you agree that it is a minor change, with some conditions just to ensure compliance, that the new generator shall comply with applicable provisions of the village noise ordinance. It has to comply with that anyway, so this condition really is just a matter of record to ensure that the equipment is reviewed and complies. And then number two, the application discusses potential impacts to the private sidewalk on site near where this enclosure is located. It's not entirely clear how exactly that private sidewalk would be rerouted. And it states in the application that that would be clarified prior to construction, something along those lines. So the condition number two here is that that be clarified prior to village staff issuing an actual permit for construction.
Thanks for that, Sonia. Brian, did you have anything to add? Otherwise, I'll turn to John Flatt, see if he wants to say anything about it. Go ahead, John.
I think all I would say is TDS is obviously a quality company. They've been with us for 20 plus years, always paid their rent, so we get along just fine. I would tell you technology is such that they just need to extend the screen wall in the back, matching the brick, so folks on Tally Ho or on Locust don't have to see the telecommunications facilities and generator. And I think what is probably will happen, Sonia, appreciate your comments, and my hope is it's just a minor issue that the Plan Commission can bless. But the sidewalk very well may terminate on the north side, because there is a door going out on the north side that I think probably will go away. We just don't, it's an exit door by state code, but we don't know what the occupancy will be within that first floor. And if we do need to have a door, I think that door could just as easily turn the corner and be on the east side, and the sidewalk can kind of stop right there, and we don't have to take the sidewalk onto the north side of the building at all. We're thinking we're going to be able to salvage, based on my discussions with TDS. We think we're going to be able to salvage the corral for the dumpsters, but we may have to reconfigure the sidewalk so people can get to the dumpster from our office building. So there's a couple little things that Sonia was appropriately pointing out that we just need to clarify. But I think the overriding issue is we already have the fiber optics easements in place right to that location. The fiber optics lines are already in right to that location. So why wouldn't we all work with TDS to try to make sure this gets done properly? Of course, as Sonia said, the noise ordinance has got to be adhered to. I am told by my friends at TDS, the generators are more quiet today than they used to be. So we're gonna be fine. We just got to make sure we're dialoguing appropriately with you folks.
Thanks for that context, John. So any questions for Sonia regarding this? What I'm hearing is a pretty minor modification. Go ahead, Kara.
I just have to ask the basic question of whether or not there were any alternatives to this plan, alternative solutions.
For TDS?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I guess once again, when I try to reiterate, this is a good corporate neighbor. We use their services. All of us work with TDS in a lot of different ways. Because the fiber optics are already in place, the easements are in place, they would like to stay right there. And the fact that we only have to extend the screen wall 8 feet to continue to screen the visual, it kind of seemed like a no-brainer just to work with these people and get it done, and nobody was going to be disenfranchised in any way.
Thank you, John. Other questions, comments? Craig? You're muted, Craig, I think.
Can you hear me?
Now we can. Yep.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's all right.
The current generator is natural gas. I assume I think it is. The new one will also be natural gas. Is that correct?
You know, the people from TDS, you guys, Jason Hogan is with us, and I don't want to answer questions, technical questions for them. So do we have Jason Hogan here?
Yes. Hi, John. Thank you. The generator is run off of a diesel fuel.
Oh,
So there is a belly tank that's on the generator. Today it's a 250 kilowatt generator, and tomorrow it will only be a 60 kilowatt generator. So what's happening, as John had mentioned, we're moving out of 11,000 square feet on the first floor of this building as technology needs just get smaller and smaller.
Yep.
And we're able to go in that back perimeter wall where our HVAC units and the generator exist today. So.
Sounds good. And obviously you're downsizing the needs, so the HVAC needs are probably also shrinking. So there should be less noise from those utilities as well.
Significantly less. We're going down to a 27 by 12 control hut, what we're referring to as the accessory structure for Sonia. And Sonia, thank you for putting this together. Very well done.
You're very welcome.
Okay. Any other comments? Otherwise, I'd ask for a motion. This is an action item, possible action item.
I'll make a
Craig.
motion that we I guess what's the motion for? It's to allow TDS to continue exploring this extension, even though we don't know exactly the final dimensions or the sidewalk routing, but it all seems like it's going to fall into place nicely.
Oh, can I make a question about the motion then?
Yeah, I was about
Sorry.
to, Julia, go ahead.
So I was assuming that the motion would be to approve the amendment to the SIP for the 3330 University Avenue TDS equipment screening and site modification. Because it is an actual amendment, so we're not just pursuing. Is that accurate, or Craig? Am I saying this correctly?
You're saying it much better than I said it. Yes, Julie.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the amendment to the approved SIP for 3330 University Avenue, TDS equipment screening and site modification. Is there a second to that motion?
John, I
Yeah, Mark.
just want to ask a question before I second the motion, and that is, if you go back to page 93 in the packet, the recommendation that Sonia put together,
Yep.
there's some, what I view as contingencies there, things
Yep.
that still need to be done. So I'm kind of wondering, Craig, whether the motion needs to be slight amendment to make sure that these contingencies are satisfied, that the approval is contingent on the satisfaction of these contingencies?
We certainly could. It sounded like some of these contingencies were controlled by like state code, like the egress store and so forth. And weren't really.
Yeah, I saw, if you don't mind, is it okay for me to talk?
You
Go
bet.
ahead.
Okay, the height of the wall addition was included in the packet. It's 12 feet 5 inches high, the exact same height that's there today. The generator will comply with the village noise ordinances, and that sidewalk, I agree with John. We're going to look for a way to route it possibly to that back enclosure. However, we may just we are going to remove the back door. And if code requires anything, we'll be happy to comply. But for now, if we can consider the sidewalk a moot point, that'd be fantastic. There is already another exterior exit to the building out the back.
Thank you.
So,
Right.
Mark, were you,
So it sounds to me like we don't need to make the motion contingent, so I'll
Right.
go ahead and second Craig's motion as is.
okay, thanks for that. Further discussion on the motion? Ready to vote? All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. That motion, Kara, was your hand up?
I'm going to abstain on this one, John.
Okay. I see 3 votes.
I can't see, shop, no.
I don't see Shabnam up right now.
I think she's left the call.
So,
I did not note when she left. I apologize. I didn't see that she was off the list.
yeah, I didn't get a note on it. So that's 3 yeses and 1 abstention.
Is that enough we need four because there's a 7-person plan, even though we have 2 vacancies, is that correct? Or am I misunderstanding?
There are no special rules for the vote to be like a majority of commission members appointed. I would say that it's a majority of quorum present.
Thank you, Sonia. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, thanks, Sonia.
Yep.
I was getting ready to make that argument, but I'm glad you made it for me. So we have quorum. The vote is 3 votes in favor and 1 abstention. So the motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for that. All right. Thanks. John, you can hang out. I don't think we're going to go that much longer. We got a little bit of a public hearing. We're going to talk about fence heights, but great to see you. Thanks for taking the time. Appreciate the folks that were with you and
Yeah.
look forward to further conversations.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again, John. Certainly good to see Mark again and to meet Mariana's son. So that was a special treat. Thank you very much, folks.
Yeah,
I'll go by that.
It's been a while since we had you at Plan Commission. So thanks again for making this happen. Mark, you have your hand up.
Yeah, just thinking going down the road on this, should we be funneling our questions through Brian as they arise, as we get further into this plan and think about it, just so that there's a sort of a central repository and one point of contact?
Yeah, I think Brian, if you're in agreement, I think that seems like the best. Yep, thumbs up on that. That's how folks should do it.
Right.
Yep, John?
Hey, John?
Yeah.
So this is a question for Sonia. As you saw in the booklet that we put together, there were two previous amendments approved to the GDP SIP. And I'm thinking what's happening right now is the TDS thing becomes amendment number 3. And if and when we find middle ground and do something in terms of an apartment building or an apartment project, that could be amendment number 4 to the GDP SIP. Does that make sense, Sonia?
I agree with that, even though the TDS modification is minor, just for record keeping purposes, I would count that as number 3.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
All right.
Very good. Thank you all.
Good
Thank you.
clarification. Yep. So we're going to move on then to item 10, public hearing amending section 10.1-103B2 of the zoning code on side rear yard fence heights. We need a motion to open the public hearing. Someone like to make that motion?
I move we open the public hearing
Okay.
on this matter.
All right, good job, Kara. Second? Thank you, Mark. Ready to vote? All those in favor?
Can we have a discussion?
We can.
Yes, I'm curious about the order of this, as I sent in an email. When we discussed the front setback rules, we had to vote on it before we could establish a public hearing for that ordinance change. That was an ordinance change that came from within the Plan Commission. This ordinance change also originated within the Plan Commission, and we haven't voted on it. And from before it, that front setback took 4 or 5 months of delay to pass because of, delays in getting to that public hearing. And I'm kind of surprised that this one is there immediately without any prior vote. So maybe I'm misunderstanding how the process works, but I want to make sure that this public hearing is legitimate.
Okay, appreciate that. Craig, Mark?
Yeah, I guess, I'm looking back at the minutes that we just approved, which were the minutes of January, and
Yep.
I don't see anything, right, with respect to the fencing issue. So the question is, to what Craig was saying, is to the extent that the commission voted to move to a public hearing on this issue, that would have been in what, December? Which is the minutes that we don't have. Is that right? I mean, presumably the commission would have had to have voted
Yeah.
in favor of a public hearing, right? I think that was Craig's point, and the question is, did it happen? It apparently did not happen in January. Question is, did it happen in December? Because if you're right, if it didn't happen, then not sure how we can proceed on this issue.
Brian, did you want to speak to this at all?
The last meeting that we had this discussion, from a month standpoint, I believe was December, and it was the originating discussion was the fence language as it pertained to the topic with the retaining walls that was brought forward, and within that discussion, I think it might have been Kara mentioned that I think it was ZBA had heard many past cases about fence height, and since we were in the realm of modifying or talking of modification to the fence ordinance at that time, whether we could just simply have the discussion steer towards the 5-foot fence height maximum, and then possibly look at just amending it, which to the 6-foot height, which was then looked and voted by consensus to move forward with that. So that was where it was left off. We did not have the opportunity to get everything run timely for the January meetings, so that's where it picked up with this month's meeting.
But do we know whether the draft minutes for the December meeting had the commission vote to move the fence to a public hearing? Did the commission?
Don't specifically remember.
Greg?
I do remember it. I reviewed the recording just to make sure. We had what we called at the time a straw poll, and the straw poll was generally in favor, except that I had reservations about if this 6-foot privacy fence would be allowed within the rear setbacks, on the property line. And so, I was kind of hoping for guidance about what the impact of this change would be. And so, again, it was a straw poll. It certainly did not mention public hearing, and it wasn't a formal vote.
It is part of the ordinance or code, so it would have to go through this process to be amended and changed formally.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to when we did the 25-foot minimum setback. I thought the Plan Commission actually affirmatively voted to go to a public hearing on that issue. But I could be wrong. I'm wondering what was the precedent we set most recently in the 25-foot setback?
Yeah, I think that was, I think we did do a formal vote on the 25-foot setback. But again, this was straw poll vote versus formal vote, and it has to go through this process either way.
Yeah. Well, I'm not the parliamentary person here, so I defer to others with greater knowledge. If we can proceed, then great. If we can't, but I can't make that call.
And I think Sonia dropped off. I wasn't sure if she was going to stay for the fence discussion or not.
To put Julie on the spot on this one, but if she does know from clerk history here, the legalities of the two manners by which this is moving forward, I guess I would defer to her here for guidance.
I'm afraid I don't, because Plan Commission rules are different than general board, where I have my experience. So off the top of my head, I can't tell you. We'd have to research it.
And perhaps the safe thing is to have the discussion now, and then the output of that would probably be a motion to forward this for a public hearing at the March meeting.
So what I'm hearing Craig say, don't move forward with the public hearing, but move to item 11 and have discussion, and then a possible action would be scheduling the public hearing, if there was support for that. Brian, does that seem like a reasonable approach? And I'm going to move to Shabnam then.
We will, is this, because it's public hearing, we'll have to renotice it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
renotice it. So is that, I have to double check again if it's, I don't know if it's a class 2 or a class 1 notice. So we will have some kind, time restraints depending on that.
Yeah. Shabnam?
Sorry to have got cut off and come back in. I have the Plan Commission meeting minutes because I was testing out AI to figure out if it would work or not. And I actually have a full transcript of our December meeting, and I wanted to know if that could help at all. I have a full transcript.
Okay.
So the question that you guys are trying to figure out is if we voted.
I think it was just consensus. It wasn't a vote that I can recall when I look at my notes. But Craig watched it again, and he shared his thoughts on it. What do you show on your end?
Well, John Imes says, are we willing to move on now to the fence code? Okay, 1 second. The fence code, got it. You just want to know the outcome. one second. I'm just doing some quick searches.
Yep.
And very end. Mm. You guys have a lot of discussion. Word for word.
Just to jump in with the minutes again.
Good, Kara, you bet.
I mean, we say the Plan Commission supports changing the fence height from 5 to 6 feet. But it really does not indicate that we took a vote, and that is what I recall as well, is that we didn't actually take a vote.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty clear that there was majority support, but
yeah,
we didn't have a motion and a second.
right. And then my understanding of that is it would go from 6 foot to 5 feet, but with neighbor approval. That was my reading of what was proposed.
No,
So-
I think we were.
Go ahead.
I think we were talking about all the variances
Yeah,
that had allowed for 6-foot fences throughout the village during the time when the 5-foot ordinance was in place, which which is now. And
Right.
so there was some discussion for kind of fairness and consistency and getting rid of the need to have unnecessary ZBA meetings and, all the scrutiny that went along with those decisions, that we would just simplify it and allow for 6-foot fences. I think, and the existing requirement allows for you to get neighbor, if you can get neighbor approval, then you can build a 6-foot fence instead of a 5-foot fence. So I think there's also some sense that was not fair.
okay. Julie,
Okay, I don't know how much we want to rely on AI, but I did a quick Google while you were speaking.
yeah,
And it's my understanding from what I'm reading here, I don't have the actual statute in front of me because that's something different, but it says in Wisconsin, a plan commission generally does not need to take a formal vote to authorize the holding of a public hearing for zoning amendments, but a public hearing must occur before the plan commission makes its final recommendation. So I think we're okay going ahead with this public hearing, especially because it's already been noticed with the class 2 notice.
okay,
And we've gone through the cost and the time to do that.
yep,
As it's the formal vote really only matters with the recommendation, and again, it's a recommendation to the board too. So
right.
I think we're okay to proceed if you guys are comfortable with a quick down and dirty search on this subject.
No, that's great, Julie. Appreciate you checking that for us.
Okay.
So we'll still need a motion to go into the public hearing. If someone wants to offer that. Shabnam,
I make a motion.
thanks for that. Is there a second to Shabnam's motion?
Second.
Okay, ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion to go into public hearing, please say aye, raise your hand. That motion carries. Let's open the public hearing. Brian, was there additional information you wanted to present from a staff standpoint?
No, I think Kara just pretty much covered what I was going to say. And the language change is included. It's very minor. It's just the one reference to the height that's being modified or proposed for modification. So nothing additional to add.
Okay, thanks for that. Questions, comments from the public? Any questions, comments, members of the public? Hey, Jennifer.
I live at 1230 University Bay Drive. I just wanted to chime in here. I heard on Facebook that you guys were going into a public comment. I would prefer not to change it, but I understand that that's fine. And you guys are going to do that, and that's fine. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that that fence allowance is not in the front. So I just want to make sure that we're not changing anything with regard to the front, and it's just for that one change of the height. So that was my only comment, and I just appreciate you guys giving me this moment to speak. Thanks.
Thanks. Thanks, Jennifer, for hanging in there. Appreciate it. Other members of the public that wish to speak on this matter? Any other members of the public that wish to speak on the fence height matter? Okay, not seeing any. I'm going to close the public hearing and move to item 11, discussion possible action amending section 10-1-103B2 of the zoning code side rear yard fence heights.
Brian, I'm sorry, John, we do need a motion to close the hearing.
Sorry. I was looking at the clock. Mark,
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
appreciate that. Is there, thank you, Craig. That's a second. Ready to, we don't have to vote to come out, do we?
Yes.
You, sorry. All those in favor? Thanks for that. That motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 11 then, discussion possible action amending section 10-1-103B2 of the zoning code side rear yard fence heights. Craig.
Yeah, I would very much like to hear from somebody what the law actually says today, because if you go to page 115 of the packet, you can see there's section 1, which talks about fences erected within the setbacks. That is, around the property line, and those have to be 4 feet high at most, and they have to allow the passage of light. And then we have section 2, which is about the solid fences, and that's where the height is changing. And it says, the first thing is it says you can't have them in the setbacks, which is fine. So if you have a large enough yard, you could put it close to your house. You could have a screening fence close to your house if it's not within the setback. But then there's the second sentence, and that's the one that concerns me, and that's where it says these privacy fences are allowed with the approval and consent of the adjoining property. So my interpretation of that is that overrules number 1, the rule about the 4-foot area fences. 2 property owners who are adjoining could have put in a 6-foot privacy fence right at their property line in the backyard. And I understand from the ZBA, I think this is mostly an issue with the side yards. But I'm very hesitant to, I'm not sure I like the language of the law as it is today. And I certainly don't want to make it worse by allowing that potential situation to be a 6-foot privacy fence in the backyard. So I don't know if somebody can maybe explain if I have that right. Could people have a backyard that's fully right to the property line of 6-foot privacy fences with this change?
Thanks for that, Craig. Any reactions, thoughts?
It'd be nice to hear from the zoning administrator, Brian, if you wanted to take a stab at it. But maybe this is a Brian Berquist question.
Oh, I think, well, for this one, you're asking whether they can go right up to the actual edge of the property line for placement of the fence.
That appears to be what it says.
Yeah, and they would still need to seek the approval of the adjoining neighboring property owners as part of the approval process. So my interpretation would be, as long as they sought and received that approval from the neighbors and as part of showing them the plan of what they look to do, then that would be permissible.
Thanks for that, Brian. Other thoughts, reactions?
I'm sorry, but I don't know if Bob can join our meeting because we will have a quorum of the board. As we already have 3 board members as a member of the commission. I can't hear you, John.
I was getting ready to say, Julie, that I can leave the meeting and Bob can finish up my commission for me. Can we do that?
That's very kind of you, John. I will leave. I'm sorry. I just had a comment about the fences, but it's okay. I'll
Yeah.
step out.
Yeah, and we're outside the public comment period now, but
Yeah,
if you want
I
to,
know.
yeah, if you want to send me something offline, that would be great. We could pass that on.
Sorry, Bob.
Yeah. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it. All right. Other thoughts? Reactions to Craig's question?
So I will say that I think that this language about getting neighbor consent is, I think, somewhat concerning from a policy perspective. And I'd be curious if there are other zoning code provisions that require consent of the neighbor. And I certainly the idea of talking with your neighbor and you know, being a good neighbor is I think is really important, but I'm concerned about neighbors being able to veto what people do on their property, especially because neighbors change, and I'm not sure that should be the deciding factor. But I guess I'd be curious what other people think about that, and like I said, also whether or not there are other provisions like that in the zoning code. I'm a little concerned about fairness where that is included.
Okay. No, thanks for that, Kara. Other thoughts from commission members? Brian, you don't happen to know offhand, or Craig, go ahead.
But just to that point, I agree. I think in a side yard, I would be more comfortable with this because there's only really 2 adjoining properties side by side. But if this is also allowed in the backyard, that impacts potentially 6 properties. So it also, as Kara said, you know, the question of fairness or uncertainty. What if a house is sold? What if someone objects to the fence? It definitely seems the language. It seems like this section 2 probably needs some language tweaks beyond just the change in the height to spell out really, you know, what it's saying, and maybe remove the written approval part or formalize what that is. I mean, technically it should be a deed restriction, I think, if it's going to be carried on the property.
To speak to the 2 questions that were on the floor, I don't know of another section of the code immediately that comes to mind where you do have to seek out the approval of neighbors for a project to proceed. The second part would be, I can tell you that I have had people who have been held up in the time that I've been with the village in getting their fence approved because we have held them to ensuring that all neighbors have submitted their responses as part of the approval process before we grant them the permit to proceed with their plans. So we do that, whether right, wrong, or indifferent. That's the way the code reads. So we've been holding everyone to that same standard. I am open to the commission's thoughts for modification, but I can tell you that we do require that for current permits for fencing.
Thanks, Brian. That's helpful. Other thoughts, reactions? I mean, that was my read on it, that we're doing this with the 5 foot, but we were hearing that we're getting a lot more appeals on the 6 foot, and it was like, okay, if you still have to go to your neighbor and we're not changing process, it seemed like a pretty straightforward change. But other reactions, Craig?
There was one comment in December that was brought up. Somebody at the ZBA wanted to go to 7 foot. You know, and that it sounds like an arms race at that point. And that's a slippery slope. So yeah. I would like to sort out the language. I'm not going to be able to vote for this change without sorting out the language of the ordinance first. I don't think 6 foot is a problem on a screening privacy fence between 2 houses that are close to each other. I think that might be very, very appropriate, but I'm worried about collateral damage. 6 foot fences, you know, everywhere.
Brian, from your standpoint, are you getting a lot of requests where people want to go to 6 foot and they automatically have to go to the ZBA?
I don't want to jinx myself here, but I don't for any immediately. But yeah, this isn't the season yet that most begin.
Right. Mark.
Yeah, I'll just say, I'm not so concerned about going 5 to 6, but I do have a little concern about this one section of the code where we require the consent of neighbors. Because properties do turn over, I would hope we could find a more permanent solution that doesn't require that step in the process. But I don't know whether, you know, Sonia's not here right now, but there are other formulations that could avoid that contingency of getting neighbors' consent.
Okay. Well, go ahead, Shabnam.
I was just going to say, I would like to proceed with changing the 5 to 6 now, but I agree with Kara and Mark that language could be tweaked and doesn't sound right. There's a competing interest, and maybe there's a way to say if a neighbor had a substantial injury that it could be the burden is on them to bring it up to have something for that, but just approval of their consent just doesn't feel right. And I would support modifying that.
Okay. So I'm the master complicator here, so I don't think this thing is ripe yet for a vote tonight. I'd like to hear, unless Brian, you tell me that's problematic. I'm glad we scheduled the public hearing. I'm glad we had a public comment. I would have liked to heard a little bit more from Sonia on how this is handled in terms of, you know, other communities, and maybe be able to respond to some of the questions with respect to neighbor notification. So if it's not problematic to, you know, that we have to vote on this today, is it a problem that we could reschedule this for the March meeting? Mark?
Yeah, I guess my question would be, would we, if we decide not to take any action on this now, and then come back later, next month, whatever, and change this language further
Yeah.
in some way, would that
Yeah.
require another public hearing?
Hearing, right. Right, that was my follow-up. So that's the master complicator part of this. Craig?
Yeah, my reading of the public hearings was that we're allowed to make changes after the public hearing has closed. So we can either accept it, reject it, or approve it with changes. So, you know, as long as we're not leaving the scope of that one ordinance change, you know, if we're working within that one block, we could do some other tweaks, and not have to have another public hearing. But that's, and I'm not a lawyer, but those were the three options we had, as to deny, accept, or accept with changes.
And I think it can be brought before the board for the final approval where additional suggestions to the language change could be presented.
But at that point, it would leave the control of the plan commission. It would be at the board level, and to the extent plan commission members of the plan commission had additional thoughts, suggestions, whatever, that would have to be made to the board.
Yeah, or it could be
The board would be
by
the
the board
control.
back to the plan to adopt those changes.
Right.
And we have 3 board members on the plan commission, so that's likely that's going to be easily facilitated. So what's, you know, I didn't want to steer us away from a vote, but I'm mindful of the night. And as I said, we didn't have Sonia to answer directly on some of this stuff. What's your preference, Shabnam?
I would say let's proceed with the approving the recommendation to change 5 to 6 to get that out of the way. So much can be in the future. You can put the brakes on it. You can do so many other things, but at least just get this out of the way as long as we're here.
Okay.
Can I make
Brian? Brian, I see you nodding on that. Mark?
Yeah, I'm inclined to go that direction too. And of course, this will require 3 readings, right, for the board. So there'll be plenty of time for the plan commission to communicate back to the board if we follow up with Sonia and decide to suggest to the board at that point, recommend to the board tweaks to this language. Yeah, okay.
And probably have Sonia available at that board meeting as well, Brian, just to be able to answer questions.
So, excuse me, so Shabnam, was that an official motion to recommend amending? Was that an official motion?
Yes.
And a second by Mark to recommend to the village board amending the section 10113 of the zoning code, side rear yard fence heights as presented?
That's right.
Okay, and we're not going to say anything about any possible future changes. We're going to let that happen. I want to make sure my motion's typed correctly. So as presented is good with you, Shabnam?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Further discussion on the motion? Ready to vote on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Thanks for discussion on that. Future agenda items, any additional agenda items folks want to speak to? Mark?
Well, yeah, so I'd like to bring this back to the board after talking to Sonia, after having the conversation with Sonia, about how we might tweak this language. So that's one issue. The other is, as I reflected back on the minutes of the January meeting, one of the issues that we discussed was the voting by the Plan Commission. How that would work. I believe Kurt Hansen brought some information to us.
Right.
I guess I would still like to get that issue back to the Plan Commission for future discussion at some point. So that had to do with the quorum requirements. I think quorum and voting
for ZBA.
Yep.
ZBA.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for that. Shabnam?
Would the Plan Commission be amendable or open to meetings starting at 6 o'clock instead of 7? I say this not just for myself, but for staff who are working till 10 o'clock at night. Just, you got to relax before going to bed and just kind of,
Yeah.
if we could just start an hour earlier.
It's totally, it's definitely something to consider. I think we've had pretty quick plan commission meetings for a while now. This one was, John Fladd's a great storyteller, and I thought it was important, I wanted to give him as much opportunity to talk about his plans. So I think that was a driver for some of the times, but we've been breaking at 8:30 pretty regularly. But I'm not opposed to 6 o'clock. Anyone else want to weigh in?
Because there's also, sorry, one more thing. There's also the 2-hour gap for staff from 5 to 7.
Right.
But Brian, you could talk about that.
Yeah.
It's I have no objections to that. The one complicating factor might be that the Public Works Commission meets at 5:30.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yep. Okay. So something to consider. But I've been trying to keep this one to 8:30, 9 o'clock at the latest. And we ran over a little bit because we had quite a bit on the agenda.
I guess there's always the possibility of moving to a different day to avoid that conflict with Public Works, because I do think that is an issue.
Okay.
But
Definitely, I definitely made a note on it. Staff's made a note on it, and we will, maybe we could, depending on how heavy, Public Works is, or maybe Public Works is going to skip a month. Maybe that's a month we move to 6 o'clock. So we'll have to maybe play it by ear for starters. Okay. All right.
Kara's got her hand up.
And
sorry.
I'm
Go
going
ahead,
to be
Kara.
really fast because I understand the need to go. So
Yeah.
ADUs has been a rolling future agenda item. And I guess at some point we attached a note on there that said that we were waiting for some legislative action on the part of the Wisconsin legislature. And I, as a rule, I don't think we should hold any discussion off for that reason. I don't know how close we are to thinking something might happen, but I don't know why we would want to delay because we think the legislature might pass a law.
Yeah, well, as you know, we're getting close to the end of the session. I think there was some talk about preemption for municipalities, and so we were just, keeping an ear to that. But I think the session's going to be over in the next 3 weeks. So Sonia's tracking that pretty closely. We won't talk about it too much today, but what I'm hearing from you, Kara, is we should tee up ADUs sooner.
I mean, I think 4 or 5 months ago, we said that we would discuss, we would bring our policy questions about ADUs, and that would be the starting point. That would be the first discussion that we would have. And I don't know why we have to put that off any longer.
Okay. I made a note. Appreciate that. All right. Next tentative meeting date is the regular meeting would be March 10th. Great to see everyone. Lots of good discussions tonight. And I'll bid you a pleasant evening. Do we need a motion for adjournment?
yes.
Yes,
Thank you, Mark.
please.
Yes,
Second.
I'll make that motion.
Second to the motion. Thank you, Kara. Ready to vote? All those in favor? Great to see everyone. Have a great evening. Thanks,
night.
Thanks, Julie.
Thank you.